should people who received CERB benefits be forced to pay it back?
That's a great question. I know some people kind of abuse of this system, but I think everybody was living in a crisis, and even if you were not in all the requirements, the mental health and just it was so difficult for everyone. So I think it might be a bonus that we could allow for a lot of people.
Paying it back, I don't know. It's unfortunate. I mean, the thing is that was rolled out in such haste that, and there was such a need for many people. Unfortunately, some citizens probably took advantage of that, or those who didn't qualify. Should they pay it back? I guess they should, and because they didn't qualify to start off with, so they just fell through the cracks. Hopefully, the government will allow these people to pay it back in increments the same way we would, overdue taxes or whatever.
People don't have the money. They use it. They spend it. How they're going to pay back after 2-3 years? Almost impossible. Eh?
I think if you've received something that you're not entitled to, you should give it back.
I think they should, at least some of it, because, I mean, the government was good enough to give it to them because of COVID. So, yes, I think, and for those who didn't have the opportunity of getting the same deal as them, I think yes.
It's something that, I guess, it's used to help people, and I mean, I don't know when you would be expected to pay that back, but, it's just, give people a break.
People who receive CERB benefits should not be forced to pay it back. A benefit is defined as something that is given to you or something that you have an advantage of. Therefore, as a Canadian government, they had the advantage to give us this benefit to help us out during an emergency time. However, we are not now in a place to pay it back. We are now in a deficit. We are in a very bad deficit, and asking Canadians to pay back a benefit that was given as an advantage of the Canadian government is a horrible thing to do.
No, I don't think so, because I feel like it was there for that temporary economic support, and people are still having a lot of economic hardship, so I feel like that, I don't know, I don't think that would benefit them at all to give it back. I think that's just going to exacerbate the problems that they're having right now.
If there's someone who's wealthy, yes, and if it's someone who can't afford it, no. So that's just my opinion.
Absolutely not. How much money does the government have, and how much money have... Throughout the pandemic, we were told that we needed at least $2,000 to live for basic needs, and how much are we making on unemployment, on disability, on terminal disability for the rest of your life, or on social services you're not. The amount at the end of the day is negligible, so to claw it back right now seems a bit petty.
Just no. I mean, they were benefits given to people who needed them. No, they should not pay them back.
If there are people who received CERB benefits on top of other payments, and they were receiving a double income stream, then perhaps the system, number one, should have been designed so that didn't happen. And if it did happen, it should be looked into.
Yes, I do. It seems to me that in many cases, probably it's legitimate not to do so, but I think there's also evidence. In fact, I even know of people who have applied and received CERB payments and should not have, and knew that they should not have.
No, I don't think anyone should be forced to pay back government benefits, because that's what they're for, is to help people. Having them pay them back is the opposite of that.
It depends on income levels. So you're not going to try to get that from a family, like let's say a single mother or a single father who's trying to barely provide for his or her family. But you should kind of work out a plan to try to get it back, if you can, from the middle upper class.
That's an interesting question. I understand there's a lot of people who needed the CERB payments to get along. I really don't think it's in the general. I don't really think it's a good thing to start. You giveth, and now you want to take it away. I'm sorry, that doesn't foster a good relationship between politicians and the general public.
Yes. Especially the younger population. That's why we have a labor shortage right now. They were getting paid more than what they would if they went to work. And I do think it helped people. We did require it, but I think for some people they shouldn't have got it.
I think they should be paid back if they weren't entitled to it. You know, I think we've been very fortunate to live in a country where we try and look after people as best we can, and I think the government did a good job. But I also think there's always people that take advantage of the system, and they definitely should have to pay it back.
I think that the people who have an income under a certain threshold should not have to pay it back. They had a lot of living costs that never went away, and I believe we should support them.
No, I don't. No, as long as they were given it, they were honest in applying for it and were in real need of it and weren't, abusing the system, as it were, which would be taking taxes from our pockets. No, I don't think they should give it back, but let's keep honesty the #1 priority here.
Well, I applied for CERB because I was a student. I just graduated, and I was needing some more money because I was having a hard time finding a job, and I still am post-graduation, don't have a job yet, struggling with that. And they're like, we want your money back. I'm like, I'm moving. I don't have the money to give back to you now. Like, so if you didn't want to give it to me, I wouldn't have taken it in the first place, but now asking for it back, like, I'm a struggling graduated university student. I don't have $2,000 to give back.